Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Love Goals Chat with Stevon and Kiaundra. Woo, woo, woo. I'm super excited today. We got a lot of juicy stuff we want to get into because if you have not tuned in to season 1, episode 1, you're slipping on your pip.
It's going down.
You're slipping. So we want to take a quick moment just to introduce ourselves real quick, just so y'all know who we are. You know, I mean, we were the resident therapists on the Love Goals show, but we also got some creds we want to drop too.
Just a little bit.
You go first.
So I'm Stevon Lewis. Happy to be here with you guys. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am from Inglewood, and my practice is in Torrance, which is just outside of LAX area, about 15 minutes south. And there I work with couples, and I also see individuals that are struggling with imposter syndrome.
Woo! What's imposter syndrome?
So imposter syndrome is like when people are unable to connect with their success, and they always feel like a fraud.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
Hey, I think I might experience
high
that
achievers.
at some
That
point.
sounds about right.
Yeah. I might have to come see you for therapy.
I'm with it. Do it. Yeah, do it. Let's do it. Let's just sign you up after this.
Imposter syndrome is real though.
100%.
Like especially being in the limelight and being a public figure, that's a whole different conversation for another day. So that's super dope. I'm sure people didn't know that about you.
No, probably not. Yeah. But that's
why we dropping the creds right now. So y'all know who I am. I'm Kiaundra Jackson. I'm also a licensed marriage and family therapist right here in the Los Angeles area. I am an international speaker, award-winning speaker. I am a TV personality. I have been seen on every show you can probably think of. I'm a reoccurring guest on The Doctors. I'm on Clearly on OWN. I've been on BET, Fox. Essence just dropped. I mean, like, it was a whole bunch of stuff popping off, and I'm just super excited, super passionate about couples and just mental health and healthy relationships in general. So we got the credentials, and we also got the personality to go with it. You know what I mean?
I'm saying.
That's why
that's how we got the job, right? Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
So if you don't know what the show is, let me drop and tell people, because some people may not have watched the show just yet, but just so you know, Love Goals is a wonderful show that we had a chance to be a part of, but it was 5 celebrity couples in one house, one bomb house, actually, because the house was lit.
House was fire. That's probably like the biggest house I've ever been in. It had an elevator in it.
I agree. That was probably like a mini mansion, and I can't say a mini mansion.
It was a mansion. It was a mansion. I mean, I don't know what houses you've been in because you've been all over the place.
No, don't try to play me.
Listen. You're an international speaker.
Oh my God.
Stevon from Inglewood, that's the biggest house I've been in.
I'm from Compton, so let's be clear, that was the biggest house that I've ever been in as well. Yeah. But it was 5 celebrity couples in one household under one roof. I mean, they did individual, couples, and group therapy. Depending on their issues.
Intense.
Right? Very intense. And a lot of them were in different phases of their relationship. So, I mean, that show was it was basically like OWN says, it's a new kind of fix, right? Like, it was literally a new kind of fix. So, thinking about all of that, what do you think, Stevon, was the first episode being exposed to the world? What was one of the things that you felt like the viewer should know? Because what I want, one thing for them to... go ahead.
So for me, I think...
I'm talking too much.
Not even. This is a conversation. We're having a discussion.
We are having a discussion. So, I have to lean back.
Lean back. So for us, I think part of it was that people are going to see us in a maybe less clinical role than what we normally serve as like licensed therapists, right?
Yep.
So, you know, what people might expect of us in our practices, they won't see a ton of that. We were doing some of that stuff off camera and on camera. Whether that makes it into the show, we don't know.
Right.
But we were there with the cast most of the time. I mean, you know,
the whole time.
Essentially, resident means you're there.
You're there all the day long.
100%.
Let's be clear.
Yeah. Around them, interacting with them. Kind of processing some of the stuff that might have come up, like in their individual sessions with Spirit, or in their couple sessions with Spirit, or in the group sessions, and kind of, you know, process some of that stuff, and also doing some crisis management because things did get kind of intense or heated throughout the time in the house.
Every day.
Yeah. So managing that stuff. So we were working,
yeah,
you know, and we were definitely doing clinical things, and so it's just a matter of what you see may not be kind of what you expect of a therapist,
Absolutely.
But we're definitely licensed to practice, and our role might be a little bit different, but we were doing stuff that was therapy related and clinical while we were there on set for sure.
Absolutely. And I think the times that they will see us, I think they'll see us in a more personal light, right?
For sure,
Not so
for
clinical
sure,
and so
for
buttoned
sure.
up and
Yep,
so the
yep,
clinical
yep.
term of the
Yeah.
psychology of the blah, blah, blah. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to do all that.
Yeah.
We were just like kind of personal.
To be natural.
We built relationships with each and every person
100%.
on the cast. And all those relationships were very different. So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about what that first day was like when we were at the house.
Right. So not a ton of prep, I think, was really given.
Agreed.
So you might think that for us, we got this whole spiel about all the stuff that was going on. We didn't really get a bunch of prep. We knew that there were going to be about 5 couples.
Yep.
And that was kind of the extent of it. And so when the couples arrived, we were kind of surprised, like you, as you guys see in the episode. I think maybe you might, if you've seen premieres of the show or commercials, you might have more insight.
Right.
We were learning who the couples were as they were kind of coming up. Yeah. Like, okay, that's them. Okay, that's who that is.
Yeah.
And so kind of we welcomed them into the house. And I think that I wasn't expecting kind of just the way it was going to unfold a bit. I mean, some things that happened that you saw in the first episode, where stuff happened before they got to the house with maybe some of the couples.
Yeah.
And we weren't really aware of that. I think how we were told was that, some are coming in hot.
They're coming in hot.
Whatever that means, right? They're coming in
I didn't know what that meant.
I had no idea either, but I was going to
We learned, though.
very quickly. And you guys see that in the first episode. And so that was something that I think people may not know, is that we weren't, it's not like we had a ton of advanced knowledge about that stuff. And so like, we were kind of experiencing this new, to make it, reality TV, right? You're getting our real responses in the moment. And I think that's
our real life responses. And I think that's what made it more real and authentic, because we didn't have a lot of prep. We couldn't research. We couldn't figure out their stories. It was just like, we meeting them just like they meeting us. We may know a little bit about them because, they are celebrities. But for the most part, it was just like, we all in, we doing the dang thing, and we taking it one day at a time. I was definitely surprised to see all of the couples that were there. And what I loved about it was that we didn't know who they were, but also, too, we didn't know what phase of their relationship they were in, right? Because some people were married. Some people been married for a cool minute. Some people got kids. Some people was just dating and, in a long-term relationship. It was just all over the place. And I think that gave the show much more of an interesting dynamic than it being like symmetric and everybody going through the same exact thing. And it was every kind of issue. It was 100%. Cheated.
Yeah.
It was death wished upon people.
Yeah, that happened. Also. There were some arguments. There was definitely no shortage of the need for some support. And I think they all came here looking to get some assistance and help. And I think that's one of the things that was surprising to me too, as well, is that with reality shows, this was being my first foray into television.
Your first one? What?
Yeah, I'd never done anything before.
Who brought you on?
You throw lives. You throw lives. I came through with the live, caught it, finished it.
You did. You killed it.
Right. But, not knowing how much of that stuff is produced or fake or whatnot. But no, it's absolutely, the therapy's real. The stuff they were coming in to work on were real issues. And it was really going down.
It was going down. So I remember the first day when we were like bringing everybody into the house and they were just kind of like looking and just like, the house was beautiful, like we mentioned already, but then we had to transition them into going into their room.
Yeah, where they're going to be staying the whole time. Yes. And that got a little bit interesting.
How so?
If you've seen the first episode, I keyed in on like looking at your face.
Wait.
We were in different spaces, right? We were in different spaces at the time. So like I would go and like show a couple, and like I'm going to get another couple, and you're like passing ships passing in the night.
Right.
And so like when you get to like your couple and you're taking I think it was like Althea and Zeno, and they're like, so we need separate rooms. And the look on your face was like, yo. So we don't have another room. But I want you to explain kind of what was going on for you in that moment, because your face told a story. And I think they need to understand what that was.
First of all, I'm still trying to work on my facials because my face says a whole bunch of things sometimes. And it conveys something else to the people. So I didn't even know my face was doing something. But because they came in hot, right? And they were already had a whole bunch of discord and arguments in the car and stuff that we weren't necessarily privy to. We were under the impression that they still still have the capacity to stay in the same room. So when
I was
walked,
under that impression 100%.
Right. Like, I was like, all right, bet they had a little argument, a little spat, but they're going to be in this room together because that's how it's set up.
We're going to figure it out.
Is what it is,
We're
right?
going to figure it out 100%.
So when I walked into the room and then they seen the room.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, no, ma'am, this is an issue because we need separate rooms. I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
My face was kind of just like, I was kind of...
You're like, I don't have another room per se, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that. and the thing that's like the most funny was like, yeah, and so you just walked off. Like it wasn't like well, all right, let's come back or anything. You were just like,
I gave no type of resolution. I was just like, bye, y'all figure it out.
Like there's no, I don't have another room, so I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, you know that one SpongeBob thing that be like, I'm gonna head out. That was literally me. Like 100%. I was like, there's nothing I can do for you guys. 100%. So with all of that being said, they didn't want to stay in the same room together.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen. And Benzino wound up sleeping on the couch.
He did sleep on the couch.
I know y'all seen that little snippet with him literally knocked out on the couch with his little blanket and everything. So he wind up sleeping there. So that's funny. I didn't even know that my face was doing stuff, but it is what it is.
And this was all day one, mind you. Like this is like in the first hour or two of them like getting to the house.
I was like, if this is day one, I don't know what day two, I mean, this is weeks of them being in the house together, you guys. This wasn't a short little, few days. This was weeks. So I didn't know what the next days was gonna look like after this was lit.
I mean, because I don't know for you, but I was like, yo, this is pretty intense for like day one. Like these guys just showing up, and it was really intense in the sense of like what some of the couples were bringing in, and just the you could feel the emotion in there, right? So like whatever happened in the car ride over for all the couples, was kind of being brought into the house in that moment, and you can feel it. It's palatable, and I think that was something that I wasn't ready for. I mean, not that I didn't think that throughout the course of the show it would get to that level, right? That like at some point we'll get to a place of where couples are heated and stuff that comes out during the sessions are going to be talked about after the sessions are done. Yeah. But I didn't think day one, within hours before any real therapy had kind of transpired to happen, that we would be at the level we were, where people were like, yeah, we're not going to stay in the same room, or couples were, and I think this is kind of unique, was like couples are trying to do and help each other. Yeah,
that's what we saw.
Right.
They didn't even know each other. Remember,
right.
We didn't know who they was going to be, and they didn't know each other, right? So this was their first time meeting, and these were like, oh, this is who I'm going to be with for the next few weeks, right? So it was interesting in the first episode how everybody was trying to help pretty much Benzino and Althea, because they were having blow-ups and disagreements and all of that stuff. And it's interesting how all of the couples kind of like came to their rescue and tried to solve. And I thought it was beautiful in one sense, because they could have been like, yo, this is day one and y'all tripping, I'm going to my room. I ain't fooling with y'all. But it seemed like they were trying to build that connection and get to know one another more deeply than more than what they've kind of just known from each other in the media, right? Because what you see in the media is one aspect, and then we got to know them on a personal level, and you're like, they may or may not really be like that in real life. I thought that was an interesting perspective, but I also felt like it kind of derailed and maybe hijacked the first episode, right? Because we didn't get a chance to really hear from the other couples and their stories and what their experience, because it was all about Benzino and Althea.
And I think that's something that Spirit tried to kind of highlight in the first night when she got there, was that, hey, like, you guys are just meeting each other, and it's interesting, and I think she even said that, it's interesting that you guys don't really know each other, but here you are trying to save or help or assist here with this couple. And so, like, kind of using that as a rallying point or like a theme for, hey, you guys are going to work together, and I'm going to call on you to assist one another, to help each other throughout this process. And it's interesting that you guys are already doing a lot of that. And that's not something that I guess I would have expected, because I know me personally, like if I see another couple going through some stuff, and I'm a therapist licensed, like I work with couples, I'm like, that's
you stand in your lane, right? You're like, that's between y'all.
I'm right here. I'm not doing any of that. Has nothing to do with Stevon Lewis at all.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, that's true. And I think she kind of called them out a little bit too. It was kind of just like, y'all low key hijacked this first night. And what's good with that?
Right.
Like,
how did we get here?
So already we kind of seen Spirit just hopping right in there, get into the nitty gritty. And if you think that was something, baby, This woman plays 0 games with them, and she gets them all the way together.
Right.
Just wait till the individual and couples and group exercises. You will see that she actually does an amazing job at being empathetic and having that therapeutic approach, but also being real and just being like, y'all not about to play games in here because we're here for real change.
Right. And I hadn't seen spirits work like I said. I mean, when I'm telling you guys, I had no idea. We weren't.
You didn't even know who spirit was. I had to put him up on game. Like,
I was like, I don't know who that is.
She's been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, she is. I had no idea. I mean, head down, focus, doing whatever. But yeah, like to see her kind of work, and it's exactly what you said, is that she's really, really clinical, really good at this stuff, and also keeps it real.
Yep.
And I like the fact that she kind of calls you out in a way that's it's comforting, but also it cuts to the teeth of what it is. Like, yo, this is what it is. You're doing X, and you can't hide from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about it.
Because I'm a little bit more hood with my approach. I'll be like, look. I mean,
too through, huh?
I'll be like, listen, y'all paying me the big bucks to get these results.
Right.
We gonna give you that real.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think she does a wonderful job at that. I mean, she was just amazing throughout this whole entire process. So
and think about that. I mean, managing that, like when you start to see,
that's 10 people.
Yeah, right.
Managing 10 high profile, big personality people.
Yeah, that's tough to do. And I mean, these probably don't know about like couples counseling, but things can get intense.
Absolutely.
And you're doing a lot of dancing, a lot of stuff to try to, juggling to keep everybody engaged, everybody feel like you're connected to them, but also saying, hey, I hear you, and I'm calling you out on this and calling you out on that, but I'm not playing favoritism. And to do that with 5 people or 5 couples, 10 people total, that's a lot of work. And she did it well.
She absolutely did it well, but I think it was a team effort, right?
100%,
so
100%.
Definitely having us there, off camera or behind the scenes to make sure everything is resolved, conflict managing. That was a crucial role, because if we didn't do our job appropriately, that would have made her job a million times harder. And so I think we worked as an amazing team. I mean,
you bring up a really good point, because I think what we did a lot of was getting information, because she wasn't at the house as much as we were. Resident therapists. We were resident
all day, all
the night around, and kind of saying, hey, here's the stuff that's being talked about. Here's what's going on. Here's who's kind of having these issues, and like kind of, I guess, prepping her. Not so much so that she understands, but just giving her kind of a good idea of like, hey, there's some stuff happening. You might want to manage this, know. And I think in couples counseling, people may not know this, but couples will usually kind of maybe between session, if something happens, they'll reach out to you and say, hey, this is going on, or you do your check-in. And so Spirit did that stuff, but also had an idea of like, hey, here's the stuff that's going on. You may kind of want to attend to this stuff.
Absolutely. I think we did that with each other too.
For sure.
If something popped off.
Yeah, like,
when I was there, hey, did you know about whoop-de-whoop?
Yeah. Because it's a staggered time.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
it's like having you come in and I'm debriefing with you, like, hey, so here's what's happened throughout the day.
Yeah.
Here's what you may want to know, and kind of go into stuff. Yeah, like here's the fires you're walking into.
Yeah.
Here's what we need to keep an eye on to kind of manage stuff. Here's the crisis interventions I've done today. So all that stuff. So yeah, we were active behind the scenes, on camera, because there are cameras all around the house.
Yes, nonstop. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just people like with their cameras following them. That's one aspect, but there were cameras placed strategically all over the house, in their rooms. I mean, everything. You couldn't get away. I think the only place was like the bathroom. That's the only time you had privacy. But you couldn't get away from cameras. So when we say reality TV show and you can't go nowhere for multiple weeks and you stuck with these group of people in the house, like, we really meant it. And I think as we see in the weeks to come, I think you kind of get a little bit of cabin fever, right?
Just a little bit.
Like, bruh, can I get out? Can we go somewhere? Can we do something? Because this is intense.
Yeah.
So.
But it's an amazing, it was an amazing experience. Definitely something that, I won't ever forget.
Never.
Right.
It is literally stamped in my head
100%.
internally.
But just like the way that the production goes off is like, everybody plays their role and makes it seamless. And, it's just stuff happening all the time and people attending to it.
Yep. Yeah, all the time, nonstop. This was like a 4-story house, and I remember literally saying, yo, my legs and my butt is going to look amazing because I have walked up and down these stairs probably 200 times a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the most workout I have ever gotten in my life. So it was crazy. Like, it was definitely crazy.
Yeah, a great experience. I'm
It was great.
I'm excited to see kind of what the rest of the season will look like.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get juicier and juicier by the moment.
Oh,
So please know and believe that Stevon and I will be coming live to y'all and in color every single week after every single episode, giving y'all the juiciness, giving y'all the behind the scenes, giving y'all all the commentary, because y'all know y'all nosy. And we was in the house, so that means y'all get to see stuff that's on camera, but we know stuff. We know stuff that didn't make the show. Tea. We got tea. So yeah, stay tuned. Little sip. Wait, where's my cup? I only got water, but we got we got the tea.
Sip.
Little sip. But stay tuned, stay connected with us. I mean, this is going to be an amazing journey. So let's end by you telling people where they can stay connected with us.
Sure.
And then we wrapping this thing up.
On Instagram, you can find me at Stevon Lewis MFT. My website is stevonlewis.com. Pretty much if you Google my name, it's not a very common name, Stevon.
You got an O in there. I was like, how you pronounce this?
Yeah,
like Stevon.
Stevon. You know, my mom got creative, man. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah, that's what happens with black mamas. Like, my name's Kiaundra. You know, like, is a U in there? It's tricky.
Yeah.
Like, it's real tricky. So you can also follow me. I love Instagram, so you should follow me there. So you can follow me on Instagram at Kiaundra Jackson, and that's KIAUNDRA. Or you can check out my website, which is kwcouplestherapy.com. So, I mean, any final takeaways before we wrap up?
I'm just excited
for episode 1?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see episode 2 and see what else happens. Because I just remember it. It's like all a blur.
Excited.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this was a minute ago. So as we seeing it again, it's like refreshing our minds, right?
Oh, I forgot about that. That did happen. Yeah, so I'm watching like a fan as well. Right,
exactly. Awesome sauce. Well, we hope that you guys are fans with us, and we want to hear what you think. So stay tuned, but also kind of type out in the comment section and share with us your thoughts about season 1, episode 1, and maybe some thoughts about what we have to say as well. So we want to hear from you guys too. But I think we're done for the day.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Boom. We didn't. We blew it up.
I blew it up.
Yeah. We did that. So until next time. It was a pleasure speaking with you guys on the Love Goals Chat with Stevon and Kiaundra. Deuces.